If you love your fair skin, girl, love your fair skin. This video is just for those of you that want the best of both worlds, okay? In this video, I'm going to show you how I go from this to this. My name is Delana Cherie, and my channel is all about helping you surround yourself with beauty and beautiful things, and I am so excited that you are here. So here's absolutely everything that you're going to need to achieve the perfect tan as a fair-skinned queen. Exfoliating gloves, a simple, cheap, strip your skin type of body soap, a facial cleanser, a tanning mitt or disposable vinyl gloves, an old makeup brush, a facial tanner separately if you have it accessible to you, and a tanner that has a really nice olive tone so that it does not pull orange, and face moisturizer. Oh, and I forgot to say that you'll want to have your favorite body lotion at hand as well. So the first thing that you need to know, and this goes for anyone tanning, but especially if you're super fair and you're trying to have a nice bronze goddess glow moment, then yes, you will absolutely have to make sure that you do this thoroughly. And that is to wash your body, but while you are washing your body, you are going to exfoliate. Take those exfoliating gloves. These ones are just from Walmart, super cheap, just a few bucks. And I do a pump or two of my body soap into it, and then I just literally start to exfoliate lightly over my entire body, except I really go in on the legs, the kneecaps. I pay special attention to my feet, all the rough areas around my feet, like the back of my ankles, your Achilles heel, my elbows. It really likes to grab to those dry, rough areas. So all of your exfoliating and shaving, take your time, do a nice, thorough, clean shave. Then you're gonna get out of the shower, and once you've patted yourself dry and everything, you're gonna go ahead and apply body lotion, but only to specific areas. So I apply it to my knees, feet, hands, and elbows, and then my facial moisturizer, and that is it. If you apply lotion to your entire body, then the tanner will not grab evenly. It just won't. Just don't do it. Avoid that completely. I can't have coffee anymore, so we have matcha, and I'm gonna be enjoying that throughout this whole video. So after you've applied all of your lotions to the specific areas, then you're just going to wait for at least 2 hours if you can. Let all your pores close, let that moisture fully evaporate from your body, because you'd be surprised how long, even though you feel dry to the touch, how long that moisture actually stays in your skin from the shower. The tanner that I am going to be using is the Coco and Eve Sunny Honey, and I do have a discount code for you guys. It will be down in the description box. Disclaimer, I will make a small portion off of anything that you purchase from Coco and Eve Sunny Honey with my discount code, but that is absolutely not why I am recommending Coco and Eve. Actually, I made this video right here for the first time before I had any affiliation with Coco and Eve, and you can see my thoughts and my review on it. I was obsessed with it from the beginning, and I continue to be obsessed with it. I firmly believe that it is the best tanner for fair skin. So whenever you actually go in to apply the tanner, what you're going to do is use a mitt or the vinyl gloves. I am using the mitt today, mostly because I haven't tried the mitt from Coco and Eve before, and I wanted to try it, so that's why I'm using the mitt. Personally, I don't see a big difference between the mitt versus using vinyl gloves, except whenever you're going over the rough and dry areas. It is really nice to have a mitt for those. I will say though that I own about 5 mitts right now, and this Coco and Eve one is definitely my favorite by far. I feel like it didn't absorb as much product as all of the other ones did, which is one of my biggest pet peeves with other ones, and the product isn't seeping through and getting on my hands and stuff like that, so that was really nice. Anyways, this is not a Coco and Eve review. If you do want to use a mitt, out of all the mitts that I own so far, this is the one that I recommend for sure. No matter what you're using, what you're going to do is you're going to start not on your ankles, but you're going to start on the lower part of your leg. Don't apply to your ankles right now. Start at the bottom of the legs, and you're going to work your way up towards your upper body. The reason this is because one, I have found that especially for fair-skinned queens, the tanner just does not grab as well to my calves. I have no freaking idea why. The Coco and Eve one has been one of the ones that grabs the best evenly all over my legs, but especially for fair skin queens, we have a higher risk of like things turning out really uneven on us. That's why we are going to start with the legs, specifically the calves, so that it sits on that part of our legs the longest. So we're gonna work our way up, but as we work our way up, we are actually going to avoid the kneecap, and this is very, very important. Slowly work your way up. Make sure you get behind the leg really, really well, because it's really easy to leave like a white line that's like just directly in the middle of the back of your leg. So be mindful of that as you're applying it. As you're working your way all the way up, you are going to avoid the knee until you're completely done applying it to both of your knees. Then don't take any additional product on your mitt. Just whatever is left over on the mitt, you're gonna take that and you're just gonna do one quick swipe over each kneecap, and that is it. Now you're good to start applying it to your stomach, and this is something that I've noticed, and I'm not sure if it's just me. I don't think that it is, but I've noticed that if you have any amount of more squish, if you will, in certain areas, then the tanner seems to not grab as well. I don't know the science behind it. It's just what I've noticed. My lower part of my belly specifically tends to not absorb as much product. And so what I actually do here is I do 2 layers of product. Not all tanners you can do this with. Some of them really don't apply well if you do 2 layers. Like for example, the Bondi Sands Aero Dark. Good luck doing 2 layers with that one. I struggled with the first layer, and if you try to go back over it, then it would like pick up and it was like a hot mess. But Coco and Eve, you're totally safe to do 2 layers with. It's literally one of the most user-friendly tanners ever. So at this point, remember, we still don't have tanner on our ankles. Don't worry about that. We're gonna save that towards the end, okay? So the chest is pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing special that you need to know here unless you have pretty defined collarbones. Like for me, right in here, especially on this side, it feels like this side is deeper than the other side for some reason. Sometimes I miss, like I'll literally have like a little dot like right here where it's like the corner of my collarbone and my neck. So just make sure that while your hand is in the glove or while you have the mitt on or whatever, I literally just take my middle finger, no matter in glove or in mitt, and I just make sure to run it into that little crevice there, and also work it up into the hairline. So then I just start to bring it down my arms, and similar to the way that we did the legs, we are going to go around the elbow. We're also similar to the ankles, we're going to avoid the wrists for now. And then whenever you're done applying it to both arms or just one arm, do a quick sweep over that elbow. So remember, we haven't done our wrists or our ankles, hands or feet. Now you're going to switch to a brush. I used an old makeup brush for a long time. I did just use this Coco and Eve one for the first time, and I'm kind of a big fan of it, honestly. That's what you're gonna see me using in this video today. So you're gonna start in the middle of the foot, and you're gonna do round circular motions from the middle of your foot up your ankle to the back of your Achilles heel, down to the toes and the edges of the feet. Make sure to have a lighter hand whenever you are buffing it on the sides of your feet, because you want that to be just kind of like a light fade. And then the other thing is, make sure to get in between your toes. It is so easy to miss that, so pay special attention to your toes. Honestly, I would plan on getting a pedicure before you do this, before or after you do this, or at least plan on painting your toenails after you tan, because it's really, really hard to not get tanner on your toenails as you're trying to blend it with a brush. Also, whenever you are doing the Achilles heel, it's really, really important that you stretch the skin. If you don't stretch the skin so that you get into those little crevices, then you will look like you have zebra stripes on the back of your heel. So similar concept, whenever you do your hands, you are going to start in the middle of the back of your palm, and you're going to work towards all the edges and try to apply it really, really lightly to the back of your wrist, because that is a really easy place to get it super crazy. However, whenever you get towards the finger, you're gonna do something called what I call the claw. That does the similar effect that stretching our Achilles heel does, because we do not bend our knuckles and we won't be able to get into all the little crevices there. And if we don't do that, then we're gonna look like we have a zebra stripe. Same thing here, just plan on doing your nails afterwards. I don't feel like I've ever heard anyone talk about this in their tanning videos, so I'm gonna say it. Whenever you get to the tips of your fingers, I found that if you just leave them, then it looks weird because they look like super pale all of a sudden. But if you do too much, then they get really dark really fast. So what I do is I literally just like do like a quick little boop, boop, boop on my fingers, or I'll just try to like brush on the side of my finger, but I can feel the bristles are kind of going over this part as well. But definitely try to do just a teensy bit of product. So I'm going to be using the facial tanner from Coco and Eve for my face today, but you can also use just the regular tanner. I've done it before. I did it in my first video so that you can check out here. I've been looking for a facial tanner anyways because it's really, really hard to get a really nice, even, natural looking tan, which is why you'll probably find a lot of other girls who share about their tanning routine. They don't even tan their face. They just use a darker foundation because it is really hard to get a really even, natural looking tan on your face. This tanner, this facial tanner, oh my gosh, I was pretty shocked. It didn't get quite as dark as the rest of my body did, but it got pretty dang close. It didn't get crazy around my lip, which is a really, really big thing with tanners, is that they tend to get crazy around the mouth area, and I was so excited. So this one, you actually just mix with your facial moisturizer. So I just took my IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Gel moisturizer and mix actually 4 drops of it because I knew that I did a pretty generous layer of this tanner this time. So for your face, for this tanner, I just took the approach of, you know, hey, I'm gonna apply it the way that I would apply my moisturizer, and that should be good because I cover all the places of my face there. This is one of the first places I went other than here. I worked my way up into, and this is one of the things that first time tanners make the big mistake of, but especially girls who are super fair and they're wanting to get really dark, that making sure that you work that tanner into your hairline. Ladies, work it into the hairline. Blend it into the hairline because you don't want a line. You don't want it to be like, oh, I'm so beautiful and tan, and then all of a sudden my scalp is as wide as can possibly be. Not here, and not especially if you ever pull your hair back at all, like girls. Worked it in here, kind of went up to the forehead, went right into that hairline. Girl, I don't want to forget it. Up into the back of the ears. That's really, really important. And just blended it into the rest of my face. Oh, and then I do recommend having somebody here to help you apply it with your back. If not, most people can kind of reach pretty well. I got shoulder problems, so I can't do that. So it absolutely is doable. But if you have a friend, a boyfriend, husband, mom, anybody that could potentially help you, then I would recommend recruiting them because it is so much easier and it'll save you a little bit of time. So now that we have all of the tanner on our bodies, what I'm going to encourage you to do is actually to leave it on for like as long as possible. It's gonna say 8 hours, but I left mine on for like 12 hours. It can cause issues if you leave it on your kneecaps and your hands and feet for that long. So I do recommend actually washing those off prior to that 12-hour mark. Like if you're gonna go the 10 to 12 hours, then wash them off around the 6 to 8 hour mark. Some tanners actually recommend that you wash your hands and your knees like 1 to 2 hours after applying it. Not with Coco and Eve, but that is a tip if you feel like it's always getting crazy on your hands and your feet, no matter what you do in the application, then you probably just need to wash it off sooner than you wash off the rest of your body. And wear dark clothes. So I actually put on a dark sweat set that I have. It's black, and I lounge in that. And if I don't lounge in that, then I usually lounge in a robe because it can stain. I've not had any issues with Coco and Eve staining, but I have had issues with other tanners staining, so that's just like a habit of mine. And just for good measure, if you are going to sleep in your tanner, you'll definitely want to change to some dark sheets if you can. If you don't have dark sheets, just lay down like probably about 4 towels you know, 2 at the top right next to each other and then 2 towards the bottom right next to each other on top of your white sheets. However, if you do sleep in it, make sure that, especially if you have applied tanner to your face, that you cover your hands, because I don't know if you are like me, but I usually sleep like this at night. Like I go like this, which means that my face is touching my palm, and we do not want tanner on our palms, okay? I learned that the hard way in this video right here. So what I recommend is either just putting on basic winter gloves. You could wear vinyl gloves to bed if you're comfortable with that. What I did is I just put socks over my hands this time because it was easy and the socks were right there, and I was like, why not? I do recommend, if you're going to sleep in it also though, that you try to wear something that is long and dark on your arms and your legs, but especially on your legs, so that your arm doesn't rest on top of your leg and then this part of your arm ends up being darker because it was resting against your leg all night. But I always try to wear something that loosely covers most of my body so that nothing touches. So then whenever it comes time to shower, do use soap. I just kind of run it very lightly over my body. I'm not doing any scrubbing. The tan is technically still developing, so you wash it off and you're gonna notice more color over the next couple of days. I also lightly wash my face with my facial cleanser. And then here is one of the most important things, especially for fair-skinned people. Whether you plan to continue tanning and keeping it up, or whether you're just going to tan once for like a special event and then you're fine with letting it fade, you don't want to look crazy while you're fading. You need to hear this. And if you want your tan to last longer, you need to hear this. And that is to moisturize your entire body every single time you shower.
It's just a bathing suit, guys. Calm down.
Or any time that your body is feeling a little bit dry. So every time you shower, whole body, it will make world of a difference. And then if you do want to keep it up, I recommend doing the entire exfoliate routine. Do the entire routine actually all over again every 1 week to week and a half, depending on how it fades on you. So everybody's gonna be a little bit different, at least every week and a half, but at most like every 5 to 7 days. It's just depending on how tan you want to stay all the time, as well as how quickly the tan specifically fades on you and your body. If you'd like to see my reaction to my first time using the Coco and Eve Sunny Honey video, you can check that out right here. If you'd like to see my first experience tanning, it's really funny and you can check it out here. See you over there. Bye!
Okay, can we please just talk about the fact that I was trying to edit myself out of the background in this photo and I couldn't even tell that my shoulder was actually showing past my finger. Like, it's literally blending into the wall right there. That's how pale I am.